We all feel big emotions at times, but young people often have stronger and more visible feelings. This is because, in part, their brains are still developing the ability to understand and regulate their feelings until they're in their 20s. It can also be a result of stress and trauma they have or are experiencing. Sometimes the responses of adults around them make children and adolescents feel misunderstood, invalidated, or shut down. This can make their feelings and behaviors spiral into something even bigger. So, in order to best support them, we have to understand them and reassure them while also setting boundaries. Children and adolescents often show subtle, very early signs that they are feeling something uncomfortable or that they just need our connection. You may notice things like fidgeting, avoiding the task at hand, zoning out, or seeking your attention or proximity. Instead of giving a redirection like "stop tapping your pencil" or "pay attention," try asking them, "How are you doing?" or "What's up?" Or saying something like, "It seems like something is bothering you. Can I help?" This can often give the child the connection they need to move on, and it also helps prevent your relationship from going to a negative place. But sometimes, despite what we do, a young person's feelings and behavior can escalate. For some, this comes out as aggression and meltdowns. For others, it's shutting down completely or leaving the situation they're in. Because we care about them and because big feelings often make adults uncomfortable, we may tell a child things like, "You're okay, don't worry about that," or "Why don't you try to calm down," to make the feeling go away faster. Or we may jump straight to "What's wrong?" in order to solve the problem for them. Despite good intentions, these responses can inadvertently send a message that the thing they're feeling is wrong, and this can make the feelings and behaviors worse, as young people will often feel embarrassed, ashamed, or compelled to prove why they're feeling this way. When facing a situation where a young person is becoming escalated, there are some important rules to follow as the adult supporting them. It can be most helpful to practice using a script so that you remember in the moments where strong emotions are running high for everyone. Step 1. Acknowledge and validate the strong feelings.
Oh, honey, I can see that you're upset, and that's okay. It makes sense that you would feel that way.
Giving a young person permission to feel their emotions is critical. Remember, not doing this can make the escalation worse by adding additional emotions to the mix. Also, avoid labeling the emotion word specifically. It's not the time to teach them something, and it could result in them correcting you. For example, "I'm not sad, I'm mad." The most important part is the acknowledgement you're giving. Step 2. If the child is engaging in an unsafe behavior, set the boundary.
Honey, you're allowed to feel upset, but you can't go throwing things at other people. It's not safe.
What you're saying is, you're allowed to feel big emotions, but you can't do things that put others or yourself at risk. But pick your battles wisely here. Only use this step if it's really needed to keep someone safe. If the child is doing something like stomping or hitting a pillow, let it go and jump to step 3. Step 3, offer your support. Don't assume there's a problem to solve.
Do you want to talk or solve a problem together? If not, that's okay too. We can start helping your brain feel better.
Many kids are triggered internally and/or do not know why they feel agitated. Step 4, give choices for feeling better.
Remember, you have a few different strategies. You could blow candle breaths, take a break, or get a hug, or you can just cry. What do you want to do?
The key here is to make sure to pre-teach strategies when the child is calm, happy, and regulated. You may need to model a skill in that moment if the child is younger. Step 5, give them age-appropriate space and check back in.
I'm going to give you some space. but I'll be back in a minute to see how you're feeling.
Sometimes we need to disengage to stop the downward spiral. Stay close and available, and if the child asks you to not leave, honor their request. If you do give them space, make sure you check back in after a short period of time. Step 6. Follow up and help them process, but only after everyone has de-escalated.
I can see that you're feeling better. Sometimes it's helpful to talk about it and see if there's any other problems we need to solve. But we can also let it go and move on. What do you think?
Remember, when the child is escalated, that is not the time to teach them something or process their feelings. That part of their brain is not available when they're upset, and usually not for at least 15 to 20 minutes afterwards. The goal in these moments is only to de-escalate. Then you can follow up. By practicing this script and teaching the child the skills they need ahead of time, you will all feel more successful when emotions start to run high.